Here we go. Here we go. A little Varsity League of Legends ready to go. UNH first, UDM one. UDM. We'll do that one. So UNH hovering a couple of bonds. You're going to see a Draven Nautilus bot lane. It looks like it'll be very aggressive there. Gnar going to be their top laner. Viego and Syndra going to be rounding it out for the UNH loadout or for the UNH lineup. Very oppressive lineup for UNH here, especially with that Draven Nautilus duo. Could see them working together to get some early lane advantage. Syndra going to be worried about those stacks early on in the game. Be underway here for the first match proper. Gonna be a pretty interesting lineup here for UDEM. Gonna have Ari in the mid lane, Cassante gonna be the top laners, and Zhao in the jungle. Smolder and Nami gonna be rounding out for their bot lane. Smolder gonna be running that cleanse, hopefully to try to avoid that Nautilus hook root combo. We know him plus Draven can be doing a lot of damage, especially early on. Smolder without stacks, let's be very careful. As long as this bot lane avoids those Nami bubbles, it could be a very good way to see that Draven become a hyper carry. Game underway proper here. See how UNH wants to go out with this. Could definitely see an invade level 1. They have a very strong level 1 with that Draven Nautilus. Does definitely look like they could be planning some sort of invade here. See all 4 members of the bot lane plus jungle running out mid lane. Do spot Ari in that mid lane as well. Nari gonna be joining their efforts as well. Might be a 5-man invade here. Do spot Xin Zhao in that top lane jungle there. Maybe he was looking for an invade of his own as response. Laning phase going to get underway here. See Gnar making his way up to the top lane against the Cassante. Syndra going to take her time to just farm out the minions, try to avoid taking that early damage from Ahri. Syndra will definitely struggle until she gets at least level 3 there. Having all of her abilities available to her will make this a lot easier. I try to avoid the Ahri's and her burst damage, especially with that electrocute. Does look like that bot lane just burned out that Nami's flash. It looks like they're going to keep that Smolder under turret. As long as they can keep him from getting easy stacks, definitely be a good game for this bot lane. You see Gnar and Cassante going back and forth a bit in that top lane. Looks like the bottom lane, once again, also going to be a bit aggressive. You see Smolder trying to push up into the Draven. Syndra doing good to keep her health high in this engagement. Ahri does have a lot of that healing and self-sustain off of the minion kills, but Syndra are going to take the full brunt of that Ahri combo, getting caught out by that charm. Like she's going to get proc, but going to land a good E onto the Ahri, landing a Q as well to get some stacks up early. Gnar going to be making a TP to the top lane here after Draven had recalled. Nautilus going to stay in lane rather, preventing the recall from what looks like Navi or maybe Smolder there. Good damage out of Syndra on this Ahri, able to avoid the charm as well, proccing her own electrocute. Some really good damage despite being a level down, forcing the Ahri to pop out her potion, keeping that Ahri about half HP as well. Just to avoid the E best you can, and Ahri's not really able to do much else. Good dodge from Syndra there, doing some really good damage to this Ahri. Does get the electrocute procced off, but he's going to proc one of his own. Both mid laners very low HP now. I've missed 2 kills somehow. I am not paying attention. You see Ahri gonna making her teleport back onto mid lane. Syndra able to push the first wave out pretty easily. What this bot lane can do is it looks like that Smolder tried to walk up onto the Nautilus in the bush there. Might have been a good hook off. Just an impressive bot lane. As long as they can keep Smolder from getting early stacks, this would be very beneficial for this UNH team.
The Shadow Isles are just the beginning.
First Drake gonna be spawning up. Zendao gonna be seen recalling in that top lane, the top river area more specifically. You could definitely see Viego trying to go for the Drake. Zendao can really come back and talk to the He's going to the niche on the bot lane. You see that Nautilus getting his looks off. Keeping them distracted, trying to keep them get up towards them. Everybody's going to throw the towards the Drake. So Viego take it. Zendao can finish on his stay down. Draven's pretty low HP. Zendao can definitely make it. Charm might have caught her out the last second. Ahri gonna be using ultimate as well, it looks like. So that might have been what spelled the end for Syndra. UDEM gonna be walking up with an extra kill over UNH now. Syndra gonna be teleporting back in the lane.
The world denied my happiness.
Yeah, he's trying to get up to Ahri her ultimate. Now wants to get her ultimate ready as well. Could definitely be what makes or breaks one-sided engagement. You see Zendao in that bot lane. This is go against him if he needs it. Ahri making her return to the mid lane now.
We were beautiful.
Gonna see Gnar, pretty low HP underneath his tower. Has to be very careful of a potential gank when being so low. Syndra, meanwhile, getting her stacks up rather quickly. Already has 30 ready to go. Trying to get those empowered abilities. Xin Zhao being spotted now in the top lane jungle. Syndra gonna be knocking him back with her wave ability, or with her E rather. You see Draven kind of lurking around that river area in the bot lane, not quite walking back to site. You see Nautilus kind of creeping up towards top lane a little bit. You see Cassante starting to crash in on that turret a little bit there. Might get some plates for himself. Could come down to whoever gets first turret gets feats in this game. See Viego and Gnar both starting to collapse in on this Cassante Nautilus, but they show up as well. Viego does have ultimate up to go. Ari to make her rotate up to the top lane as well. Viego barely able to escape with his life. There has to burn flash as Ari begins to make her way up. Nautilus is turning around and trying to get the hooked off Cassante and his ultimate. But not yet. Viego a little hesitant to get involved in the fight. He's very low HP. Now Ari going to try to go burning with Nautilus flash. The Ari using her ultimate. Syndra taking quite a lot of damage. Now barely able to escape. Nautilus is going to fall to the Cassante. Give feet to Warfare.
I cast myself upon this protocol, awaiting further.
Unit going down 1 kill 1 to 3. As you see that, Unit's starting to get work on the Void Grubs. It looks like Unit is just going to back off and let them have that objective. Gnar, meanwhile, just going to be farming out that mid wave, or that top lane, trying to shove the wave in really quick. Did see Draven, who's been at the bot lane by himself for quite some time.
Rip her from the jaws of
right,
death.
as Xin Zhao does
Fate
something
cannot
to
stop
the last
me.
Void Grubs.
Nothing can. This mist has got one fire.
Gnar doesn't start to gank.
The mist will consume all. My victory.
No real action yet as we approach 10 minutes here. For second Drake, going to be coming back up in 30 seconds. UNH definitely wants to take that to be 1 away from claiming strategic objectives, as well as being 2 away from Soul. You do see Xin Zhao making his way down towards that Scuttle Crab. Viego maybe trying to inch in for a fight. You see Nautilus Draven wrapping up from the bot lane, trying to get action. The charm from Ari does land on the Syndra, but she knocks her away before she can execute that full combo. The rest of this UDEM team, save for Cassante, now being spotted in this bot lane river. This UNH team playing on the... Well, they see Cassante starting to make the rotate over. Nautilus trying to make that hook off on Ari. Ari's charm not going to be able to find anybody. Syndra trying to get the collapse in to get that last kill. The ultimate, unfortunately, does not find it, but the Draven ultimate flying through just shy of where she channeled her recall. The Smolder trying to get some early damage in with his long-range poke. Cassante going to be flooding in all of a sudden as Syndra gets bullied by that.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Going to be used. Smolder finds a kill on the Nautilus. Only Viego escaping with his life. Gnar going to get some plates. Going to get some plates. Cassante still was in the bot lane. Looks like UDEM will be able to claim that first Drake with no problem. Syndra making her teleport in towards the mid lane, trying to force that Ari away. She's taking out the recall as well. Giving her a chance to get a lot of harm here.
The black mist flows from me like a tide. At times it edge,
Yeah,
but
Cassandra
now we
teleporting back in up
surge
top, but
forward.
Diego's already lurking around for the potential gank here. Could definitely see him making a play if the Nari gets pushed back a little. But it looks like Diego actually wants to gank the Nari instead. Doesn't look like, maybe not. It looks like he just wants to. He maybe thought about a gank there, but Syndra being very low HP would be very risky to try to force out a gank with her. Diego making his way towards the top lane. Does look like the Ahri is going to be chasing down the Syndra, popping flash and ultimate, able to secure the solo kill as the electrocute procs. UNH going down 7 kills to their 1. Definitely going to be trying to see that Draven can hyper carry in the later game. Sin's out going to be making his own gank down towards the bot lane here, but Diego's going to come through. Try to unable to find the trade on that. In a bit of a struggle here gold-wise, but you can definitely see them trying to make a comeback. They have a lot of late, or not a lot, but they have some late game scaling champions. Not as much as at Smolder, but you can definitely see Syndra making some plays as this game goes later on. Do see Zhao trying to make that gank in the mid lane once again, showing up towards those Raptors. Syndra trying to get some damage as well as stacks up for herself here. Charm from Ahri is going to end up taking about half of the Syndra's health. Her ultimate is going to come through, doing some really good damage. Both sides, very low HP. The Charm going to find it actually end up hitting a minion here. Both Syndra and Ahri just need to land one ability to kill the other. As long as that Ahri doesn't have ultimate up, Syndra shouldn't be too scared. But I have to be a little scared of the minion damage here. Oh, please don't die to minions. Please don't die to minions. Okay. Syndra walking away with literally 1 HP after the assault from the minions there. To use that light bulb to spot the ward out in the middle of the river. Cassante going to be showing his face up in the top lane as well. Maybe trying to eep out towards that river as the Rift Herald will be coming online in 15 seconds. Meanwhile, give Draven a kill in the bot lane and Nautilus helping him out to get the shutdown onto Smolder, worth about 215 gold. Big play for Draven there. Could definitely see him start to spike as he starts to stack kills like that. Towards the top lane, you see that Viego and that Zinzao starting to look at each other. Nar making his way back to lane as Cassante starts walking over towards Rift Herald as well. Gonna see Draven actually getting a kill on their tower onto the Nami. It looks like bot lane might be able to get the first tower as well. They definitely want to do that before this UDEM team can grab Rift Herald, as that would give them feats before UNH can even make a comeback for them. They do get first tower. That's a lot of gold in that Draven's pocket as well as XP, but Rift Herald will fall to UDEM, giving them feats. Tier 3 footwear of an option now as Syndra gets jumped by both the Zinzao and the Ahri, both ultimates flying, or sorry, ultimates for Ahri gonna come Ahri starting to crash in towards the mid tower, get it as that first tower being destroyed, gets some good damage on the second tower as well. Smolder being spotted in that bot lane jungle. You see him starting to push the... They're trying to pull the Drake out away from the
scour
board
the
as Ari rotates down towards the bot lane. That's
Your
gonna be
turret
the
has
second
been
tower.
destroyed.
That's a lot of gold in Ari's pocket. She can be very scary if she gets built up pretty fast. See Draven and Nautilus are going to get down negative.
Killing spree.
Yet I'm forced to kill for it.
Away, allowing these and Zhao to go back to claiming the Cloud Drake, and he does. You just have Drake.
Enemy rampage.
Give a kill to the Syndra, or to Ari. Syndra in the top lane to beat the Ari.
I am already a monster, suited for the horrors I must inflict.
Kasante and Syndra went first. Kasante in the bot lane. Done. Right into the caster minion. Now to Kasante. Looks like Draven and Nautilus are rotating up towards top lane. Maybe they want to claim that tier 1 turret for themselves. Syndra kind of walking up towards this Kasante, not getting too aggressive quite yet. Oh, the Kasante there with the slow and the dash. Going to be doing a little bit of damage to Syndra. See if she can't escape. Syndra's taking quite a lot of damage as Kasante uses his ultimate. The electric going to get proc, giving Syndra some extra stacks. The flash from Kasante going to spell the end for Syndra. Meanwhile, Narns and Zhao fighting in the jungle there. Nami wave going to come through.
Enemy
Zhao looks like
rampage.
catch him in the end.
And then
Udam walking with 14 kills over 93. Ultimately to try and stop the damage being done to this tier 2 turret. See Ari kind of unaffected in that top lane, farming that turret for herself. Could definitely see her claiming that before Diego has the time to rotate back up.
the mist is not great.
Your turret has been destroyed. Way.
Ari will end up claiming that turret for herself, going up to level 13.
You dare face me!
Oh, Syndra now going to be cut off from escaping by this Kasante. It looks like he's going to be able to try to go for another solo kill. As Draven and Nautilus in the bot lane fighting that Xin Zhao.
An ally has been slain.
End up falling to Smolder as Syndra is still trying to run away from this. Kasante does get the Ari to all the
Enemy
boards, so
is
Kasante going to end up finding
unstoppable.
out that kill as
An
Xin Zhao shuts
enemy
down the
is
Nautilus.
unstoppable.
Consume everything!
That are on the map. That tier 1 turret at the top lane is very much that's what the gold provides. It's ignoring him back to the here. Narvik trying to leap away. He's stunned to get out. As Smolder actually finishes off Otacon, Din's out. Moving out a lot of experience for that UDEM team. As well as a lot more gold. Okay, that's getting some of the
She will reign then, and I shall be ruled.
Good play from Syndra there to shut down that first dash from Ari, but she still has one more in the pocket. The charm just going to be barely miss. Syndra doing a good job to keep herself alive there. You see Draven and Nautilus both rotating up towards top lane. Maybe they want to go take another bite at this tier 1 turret. See Smolder in the ally jungle here. Diego just going to back up instead of trying to fight for his farm. Cinder definitely has to be careful that Smolder doing a lot of damage, as he has quite a lot of stacks by now. Nami, a really great addition to Smolder as well. And there goes an objective bounty for UNH. The Nami wave going to come through. Zhao tries to hit a dash. Smolder ultimate going to come through as well. Two ultimates for UDEM on this Syndra, unable to find the kills. It looks like Zhao just wants to take the Raptors instead. Viego is making his way down. Could see him maybe go for a play, some sort of contest. The light bulb is just going to snitch on him immediately, though. Nami going to be showing her face as Draven starts showing up that mid lane. Nautilus there as well. Nar showing up as well. Looks like they have a teleport in, probably from Ahri. K'Sante there as well. Could see a big team fight, especially in this mid lane. As Cloud Drake does come online, UDEM is going to be rotating over there. Not sure if UNH wants to try to go for the steal or not. Do you see actually Nami hiding in that bush, going to land the bubble on the Viego, potentially scaring him off of even trying. Blue ward going to show that all this UDEM team is currently located on the Drake. You see Nar in the top lane. Looks like he just wants the side lane push as Zinzalio has claimed that Cloud Drake for UDEM, making them one off of Cloud Soul, I believe. Syndra meanwhile just kind of hanging around with this Viego, as you see K'Sante fighting that Nautilus in the top lane. Draven trying to keep the Zins out from doing too much damage to him as a good knock-up from Syndra helps out, but the Nautilus falls to Smolder. Viego barely able to dash away as the Smolder's landing Q after Q. Good charm from Arion. The Viego pulls him back in the fight. Electrocute gonna finish him off. Draven very low HP. Looks like he might have to back up. This whole UDEM team is trying to collapse in on this turret as Syndra keeps trying to knock them away with her E ability, but K'Sante just going to run under tower, start doing some good damage. Going to end up finishing off the Syndra. Draven going to fall to Smolder, last alive. Nar starts bouncing away. Zhao is just absolutely chasing after him. K'Sante soaking up tower shots. Zhao finishes it off. That'll be an ace for UDEM as they start pushing in this mid lane. You could definitely see them start going for Nexus turrets here as they break apart this inhibitor, but looks like they're just going to back out instead. Maybe only Nami. Nope, Nami's going to back out. Looks like UDEM doesn't have any plans to try to take Nexus early here as we just approach 24 minutes. UNH down a lot of gold here. This is a very rough situation. They could still make a comeback here if they go for a few objective steals, stop this UDEM team from getting soul. We see a lot of great plays from this team to keep themselves alive for this game. There are a lot of shutdowns on the board, so if this UNH team starts getting a few kills, you could definitely see them making their way back with the gold. You see Nami wave coming through as Draven goes down to the Ahri and a solo kill on the bot lane. Nautilus just a second too late on the rotate over. You're going to see Baron coming online in 30 seconds. It looks like this UDEM team wants to just keep UNH in their spawn here. They don't want to let them leave Fountain. They want to take Baron for themselves. It's coming online in 10 seconds. You see Ahri pushing in that tier 2 bot lane turret. It looks like Syndra wants to make the rotate over as Viego, Nar, and Nautilus all deal with this big top lane pushes coming in. 4 members of UDEM showing their faces. Draven on the respawn trying to get up there. Smolder takes down the tier 2 top turret. UNH getting pushed back into their Fountain quite heavily here. It's very dire straits, but they can still definitely make a comeback. Viego going to end up falling to the Smolder in the top lane towards that Baron. It looks like he wanted to try to leave some wars, but unfortunately paid the price for it. Do you see it does look like that UDEM team is working on the Baron there, so they will probably be able to claim that, taking another objective bounty away from UNH for the time being. Next Drake coming up in a minute 30, so you could see UNH maybe try to consolidate, get a push going before they go for that play. Do you see this UDEM team making their push in towards the mid lane? The Smolder going to be flying over. Smolder ultimate, Nami ultimate, both coming out. Syndra just going to throw her ultimate out there. She didn't think she would be able to escape. Definitely hurts her mobility a little bit.
Godlike.
Think we're back now for good. Unsure, a bit of a back and forth. Some good damage out of this early Jace trade. Knocking that Vladimir down. Probably going to force him to recall before the minions even arrive. Do you see Sion and Yarvin? Vladimir, Jinx, and Karma going to be the loadout for Montreal. Looks like Sion might be kind of just roaming around the river there, maybe trying to find an invade or two. Does actually look like there's going to be an invade from the Yarvin and the Sion. Gragas will be making his way down the ward, going to get thrown down right on top of the Raptors. Make it a bit hard for Mumu to farm the camps he wants to. Laning phase underway properly now. Pretty early poke out of this middle lane here. Have to be careful of the Vladimir self-sustain here, especially as a Jace. Doing some pretty good damage. Might actually be able to force out the kill as the Vladimir does pop Ghost. Just trying to zone the Jace out and do some extra damage back. Whatever one hits level 2 here, you could definitely see them use that level 2 advantage to start pushing. Good combo from Jace there onto the Vladimir, taking him down to just under half HP. Really good self-sustain out of Vladimir. Just to avoid those empowered Qs is your best bet. Gonna pull out the Vladimir's pull state already, which could be really good for the Jace, but the Jace has no mana here. Might have to burn Flash to stay away, but unfortunately the Vladimir is going to chase him down at the same time. Does look like there's going to be a pause going out, some sort of technical difficulties, I'm sure. Take a few minutes here. Looks like OBS might be causing the issue for Jin here. See him take a few seconds to fix it out real quick. Montreal will have that first blood advantage from that mid lane solo kill. Could see them try to claim feats of warfare again. We know they got those tier 3 boosts that last game. Gonna be back underway. Here's the pause, goes back down. Hopefully the issues got fixed up. Jason will be immediately teleporting back in just as the Vladimir begins to recall there. Not much action in the bot or the top lane so far. Both mid laners now back in the lane. Is in the bot lane. It looks like they're getting a bit aggressive with that Jinx Karma. I have to be very careful of the poke. Yarvin going to be spotted up in the river. It looks like Jace wants to make a play to fight him here, but Jace not having a lot of mana might not be the right play. Moon's still a bit away from helping him out as well, but he's doing some really good damage onto the Jace there. Looks like Moon's going to look for that hook, unable to find it as Vladimir uses his pull form to escape. Jace, once again, not a lot of mana here, but you could definitely see a gank from the Mumu try to help pay off. They get that Yarvin very low as well, so that could play out into their favor. Looks like Vlad's looking for that empowered Q on the Jace. We'll find it. Not empowered Q, sorry, just a regular Q. Now he's looking for the empowered Q. Looks like a Mumu might be in a spot with Vision as Vladimir and the Yarvin both begin to collapse in on them. Jace trying to get over just in time. It looks like Jace is just going to back out instead. Mumu going to burn his flash over the wall. I think Vladimir's trying to stop the recall from the Mumu, using up his pull form. That might not have been the best play here. If Mumu would come down and help out with that hook real quick, could definitely see a kill on the Vladimir. But looks like they're a bit nervous about the Jace potentially hopping over that wall and hurting them out a little bit. Speaking of the Yarvin, there comes that flag over the wall, trying to interrupt the Amumu's recall. Looks like Amumu wants to go for the Hextech Drake as Yarvin clears out the Raptors. There'll be a little bit of farm loss for Amumu. Jay's staying under turret here, especially with how little mana he has for the fight. Quickly able to clear out the wave. No TP up, but you can see him recall and make his way down towards Hextech. You see that bot lane starting to walk over, get some wards down, get some vision up on the river. Still no kills on the board besides that first blood from the Vladimir. Looks like the Zyra is going to land a pretty good root onto the Jinx, just unable to land the W as well. That Karma doing some really good damage to Zyra. Looks like Amumu's going to come in with the gank. Good root by Jin onto the Karma to secure him a kill. That'll be 1 kill for UNH against Montreal. As they do spot the Vladimir is not currently in lane. Yarvin coming down to help out with that gank. Vladimir showing up as well. It'll be a 3v3 in the bot lane. Amumu, Jin, and Zyra versus that Vlad, Yarvin, Jinx. It looks like Zyra might be the first to fall for UNH. Actually, Zyra is going to escape. Jin as well. Amumu, the only one still left alive. Very low under tower, but the Vladimir is going to secure that kill. Montreal getting a 1-for-1 trade in the bot lane. However, Jace will start to get an extra wave as long as some really good damage onto the turret there. But Sion going to be popping his ultimate to come racing down into the top lane to try to help out with that wave. Looks like Jace just wants to run back instead of trying to fight out the Sion. Going to knock him away. He starts charging up that Q. Karma making her appearance as well, maybe try to help out, but Jace will be able to escape with no problem. Going to take up that farm there as well. Hextech Drake is still up, but I assume you'll see that Yarvin take that soon. You could see that top and jungle work on Void Grubs when they come up instead of trying to fight Hextech. As I mentioned, Hextech Drake does end up falling to Yarvin. You catch Vladimir on that recall. Could see Jace try to get another plate for his another turret plate here. Really good wave clear from those abilities. Do you see a Mumu starting to go up towards that top lane? The Yarvin gonna be grabbing the Scuttle Crab right in front of Jace here as he looks to try to maybe make him pay for that. Void Grub's gonna be up soon as do you spot Vladimir putting a ward down on that middle on the brush there. Jace doing some really good damage. That self-sustain from Vladimir. Gonna keep them both at pretty even HP. Again, not too much happening in the bot lane. It looks like they might be trying to make a few plays. Jin did hit level 6, so you could definitely see that being utilized. There's so many J names in this game. I'm having a stroke. Jin, Jace, Yarvin. Too much. You do see Jason and Mumu both starting to lurk up towards that top lane maybe a little bit. As Yarvin and Sion start to get active a little bit. Amumu trying to escape Both the Yarvin ultimate and Amumu ultimate both going to be used out. Feats of Warfare going to go as the Yarvin finishes off the kill onto the Amumu. Jace trying to get a 1-for-1 trade here. Does a flash up. Could see him go for the last hit here, but the pull form from Vladimir is going to save him. Jace going to end up falling. Vladimir getting credited for that kill. Had him very low HP. Nearly had him. Could have been a really good play there. Gragas has to be careful in that top lane a little bit as the Scion starts to... not the Scion, sorry. The Yarvin was spotted up towards the top lane. The Jinx going to get an ultimate kill onto the Zyra. Jhin trying to get that last hit as Jinx very low HP. Karma not a lot of HP either. Karma actually going to get the solo kill onto the Jhin here. Looks like he was a bit too aggressive trying to get that last kill. Or trying to get a kill back. Jace tried to come at the last second to maybe try to stop that Montreal team from getting Void Grubs, but they will walk away with that strategic objective as well, putting them one away from claiming feats, as now their side is really close to taking turret here. Looks like the furthest progression might be Jace with that extra plate over Vladimir so far. Just spot Zyra in that bot lane, maybe trying to interrupt the Karma's recall there as Jhin shows up as well. Good burst damage from the Jace onto the Vladimir, but once again, that empowered Q is just going to keep himself sustained. Got to get some sort of anti-heal in the laning phase here. Looks like Jace might want to make a gank down towards that bot lane as Amumu also is showing up. Do spot the Vladimir going down towards bot lane as well. Amumu maybe making a play to run away here, trying to avoid some of that early damage. Jace kind of in between, both rotating and just fighting for his wave here. Looks like he's going to go back for his wave as Yarvin also shows up in that bot lane. Vladimir also going to be showing back up. Full HP this time. Probably found some soda to self-sustain. In the jungle, might have been one of the plants or whatnot. It looks like this UNH team wants to go for the scuttle here as the Yarvin takes off away from this 4-man that is currently in the bot side river. We're going to see Gragas teleporting back over to the top lane. Jace diving in on the Yarvin for a little bit of damage just as the Karma comes through. Burn, or flash from Jace. Yarvin very low HP. The Amumu going to come out. Jhin finding the kill on it, but Jinx with their passive is going to be able to run down this Jace. Going to end up with the final hit on him. Jhin very low HP trying to escape, but the Jinx just barely doesn't find the last kill. The Karma's just going to miss. The W from Jinx going to miss. Jhin 1 HP under tower here. Vladimir, Jinx, and Karma all going to be coming down. There's going to be no minions, but that's not going to be able to save him, unfortunately. Vladimir securing that kill as well. UNH going down 2 kills over Montreal's 10. Next Drake coming online in 8 seconds. Amumu just going like, Amumu going to be on his rotation towards that top lane as you see Scion starting to proxy a little bit of the Balfus here. Vladimir quickly walking down this mid wave, trying to make it so that the Jace can't really get back into this game, but Jace still able to do some really good combo damage, trying to knock the Vlad back under the tower to do some damage. Pull form just barely going to save the Vladimir, but oh, the minions, I believe, are what going to be the minions doing some extra damage there at the end to really secure that. Vladimir with the solo kill onto the Jace. Ocean Drake going to fall to the Yarvin, just as the trio there is trying to hunt down the bot lane for UNH as Amumu finds the solo kill on his side, finishing him off, setting him back into his passive form. He's trying to keep the Amumu from going back to his farm. It looks like Jhin and Zyra are chasing the Yarvin into their jungle. Karma not really there to help. Looks like she's taking over their tower. Montreal has claimed well. Gragas farming at the top. You see Vladimir making that lane swap. Scion actually going to be showing up in mid.
Come back.
Vladimir wants to fight the Gragas instead. Good see Jason. Gragas just try to lane swap to counter this.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Jace able to do some really good damage to the Scion, just not able to knock him back out of that Q. Trying to kite the Scion best he can with that movement speed from his E ability. Jace doing some pretty good damage there. Rift-tailed coming online in just under 1 minute. Could be the strategic objective that UNH needs to come back in this game. It looks like Vladimir comes back towards the mid lane. Yarvin gonna use his ultimate to lock down the Jace, secure the solo kill onto him. Looks like Jinx and Karma are trying to get that bot lane turret quickly. As Amumu starts going up towards that top lane, could definitely see a gank coming from there. Jin trying to stop the Jinx and Karma from taking that first turret. As Amumu shows up in the top lane, just barely unable to land his hook. As the Jin finds a kill onto the Zyra in the bot lane, or onto the Jinx in the bot lane. Zyra helping out quite a lot here. Jin actually going to get chased down by the Yarvin, who shows up out of nowhere to secure the kill onto him. Zyra, last one left alive here. Looks like she's going to try to run back to turret. Karma very low HP, but it doesn't look like that Zyra will be able to secure that kill. Vladimir nearly getting this tier 1 mid turret down. Next wave should be able to do it unless Jace can make a play to stop him. Rift Herald coming online just now as we approach 15 minutes. Jace trying to play back against his Vladimir just a little bit. Pretty scary being 2 levels down against a self-sustaining demon like Vladimir. Doing about half his health though, which is really good play from Jace here. Able to keep him back as well. But once again, that self-sustain is just absolutely abysmal to lane against. Looks like Amumu might be getting started on the Rift Herald as Gragas is fighting that Scion on the top lane just above the brush there. Doesn't look like he wants to give the Scion the chance to look, but Karma is going to be rotating over. Yarvin coming through the mid lane, but the Rift Herald will get claimed anyway. Objective bounty for UNH. Amumu does go down to the Karma in the end, but hopefully did manage to pick up that eye before it could expire. Yarvin going to help Vladimir claim the tier 1 mid turn. It looks like he wants to go for more as he ults onto the Jace. Jace knocking him just out of the tower range instead. The ultimate from Yarvin giving Vladimir hopefully the chance to chase him down, but it looks like he won't be able to. But it looks like he won't be able to. Vladimir instead going to rotate out to come back towards tower. Karma showing up instead. It looks like Vladimir and Karma are going to be working together to try to claim those Raptors for themselves. Scion once again will be proxy farming those waves, trying to get that tier 1 top turret down. And Jace, very low HP, playing kind of brazenly here, taking this mid wave as they spot the Yarvin on the rotate towards the bot lane. Zyra falling to the Jinx solo kill, and Jin trying to chase her down for the 1-for-1 trade, but now just might have to be running away from the Yarvin as he closes in. See Amumu over the wall there in the jungle. Could look for a play on the Vladimir, but the Karma is actually going to come closing in on him as well. Yarvin going to find the kill on the Jin with the assist from Jinx. Amumu just going to run back away from the Karma, and the Vladimir going to try to stay on the turret to stay alive. Really good poke from those empowered Qs from the Karma. Scion showing up as well to try to take down the Amumu, unable to find him. Looks like this Montreal team is going to quickly try to take this tier 2 mid turret as well. Looks like Jace is kind of stuck out of his fountain there. The ultimate from Vladimir is going to come out, doing some really good damage. He's going to shut down the Jace, knocking the Zyra down half HP, finding a double kill on the Amumu. Gragas not a lot of HP either. Give a triple kill to Vladimir. He pops Ghost, running around. Now he's going to look to kill the Jin, doing some really good damage onto him. Scion showing up with the Q, trying to do some good damage to the Gragas. Gragas going to be flashing away from the Vladimir and the Scion, but the Yarvin's going to come over the wall. The Vladimir very low HP, able to keep himself alive off that turret shot. Jin trying to take down the Scion, nearly falls in the process as this Montreal team quickly wipes away this tier 3 mid turret. Looks like they're going to go for inhibitor 2 as we approach. I need the bitrate to fix so I can see the timer. Anyway, UNH down 16 kills as Montreal sits comfortably with 20 kills over UNH's 4. Mid inhibitor actually is going to fall, but the root from Zyra lands onto the Yarvin, but he's just going to dive over the wall using his abilities. Karma doing some damage to the backline there as they try to at least get 1 kill out of this. Amumu with a good hook onto Scion, but the root from Jinx going to come in, keeping him in place. Teleport from Gragas coming in as Amumu secures the kill onto the Scion. Scion in his passive form trying to do some extra damage before he gets sent back to the spawn room, but the ultimate from Vladimir going to find its spot onto Jace, who's just going to stand still as he explodes from that ultimate. Karma coming over the wall to try to lock down the Jin as the Jinx W comes through. It froze up to me, so I can't really see what happened, but Jin does actually dying to the Karma. Amumu trying to run away with Zyra as they get chased down by the Jinx, but the Zyra is actually going to hit that boom cap and send the Amumu straight back into the Yarvin, who Amumu is going to end up falling after using his ultimate. Karma get the final blood there. Gragas and Zyra, the last two to defend this tower, or defend the Nexus, as the Vladimir and Jinx get working on the Nexus turrets. The next dragon is up and ready to claim, but it looks like this Montreal team just wants to try to finish the game out instead of worrying about objectives. You do see a teleport coming in as the Jace comes in off respawn. Jin also coming back in as well, but taking a lot of damage, especially from that Karma. Trying to get a root with his W, able to find it. The Silent Ult comes in, doesn't get the knockup, but the Gragas sends a whole bunch of them into the turret. Jinx falls to the Zyra, but it looks like after Vladimir securing the kill on the Jace, the Yarvin finds one Nexus turret. Looks like they're going to just try to destroy the second one. The root from Jin just finds its way onto the Scion, but he's just able to shield out of it and walk away. Trying to line up the pokes there, but unable to wipe out that minion wave, keeping the last of their Nexus turrets barely alive. This Montreal team is going to go back after the Jinx. Looks like they're just going to start focusing on some objectives instead. Really good to prepare for another push for the Nexus here. But both the Infernal Drake and Otacon are about to be here. You see Scion on the frontline push, trying to get that tier 2 top turret taken down.
Let's find some friends.
Consolidate now. Tries to keep the sign as well. Infernal Drake is going to end up falling to Montreal here as Yarvin finds the kill on that. Gragas trying to do some damage to the side, but able to leak down. Yarvin carries as Jace shows up as well. Gragas is going to recall his spot the Karma and trying to poke down the Jin and the Zyra. Jinx going to be spotted in the bot lane once again. A lot of these turrets for UNH are going to be starting as Montreal takes Otacon and a lot of XP. They're already high level, to be expanded as well as their gold lead. Dark Herald actually going to come out here. About doing 7 in the top lane. Hopefully it goes out towards that top lane turret. UNH does need to claim at least one turret here. They have the objective bounties up ready to go, but they don't have any of these tier 1 turrets for themselves. Jace going to pile that Rift Arrow straight to the top lane turret. Looks like a boom on him. Tries to get the turret. Meanwhile, Jace and the rest of the Montreal team is working together to start pushing towards the turret. Gragas and Jin take quite a lot of damage. You can see that top turret is going to UNH is going to fall in the meantime. Only Zyra left to help defend the last next turret. Only doesn't ult ready to go. Jinx unable to find the kill as the final Nexus turret does fall. No UNH members left standing, and that will spell the end for this match. Montreal walking away 2-0 over UNH. UNH is unable to make any comeback, or unable to make the comeback stick there in the end of both those games, unfortunately. But that will be all, I believe, for tonight's Varsity League of Legends. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight.